Next to graphics, type and fonts are the most effective way for communicating your message. Fonts add emotion and impact to your presentation. They also can create variety and help keep the attention of your audience. Here are 10 tips for using fonts in your next presentation. Tip number 1. Include and embed your fonts. If you don't save your presentation with the fonts, the end computer that you're playing it back on may substitute a default font that could destroy the perfect image and presentation that you've created. As an added safety factor, copy and save the actual font files directly to a disk. The font files are found in the Windows Fonts folder if you're using a PC. Tip number 2. Employ weight contrast for visual interest. Tahoma and Arial are good fonts with added impact when you use the bold style. Tip 3. Use script-based fonts sparingly and only to project an informal image. Limit serif fonts such as Times Roman and Garamond to headlines. They often look busy on the screen. Sans serif fonts such as Arial and Helvetica are much easier to read when they're projected. Tip 5. Avoid high-tech and modern typefaces. They're difficult to read and detract from the message. They may be okay for the opening slide, but audiences will grow tired of them if they're forced to read lots of text. Tip number 6. Investigate what are called slab serif typefaces, like Lucida and Tahoma. They're often looked, but these sturdy fonts reflect a no-nonsense feeling of strength. They hold up well when they're projected. Tip 7. Restrict stylized typefaces to titles and opening slides. Never sacrifice emotion for legibility. Tip 8. Maintain maximum foreground and background contrast. Be sure that there's sufficient difference in total value between type and the background that it appears against. Tip 9. Use capitalization with care. It's almost like being yelled at. It's harder to read and takes up more space. Caps are okay sometimes for titles, but it's better to emphasize with bold and underline. Tip 10. Fine-tune the details. Now, typographical detail includes choosing the right bullets and the size and their color and the distance from text. Line spacing should be adjusted with a space between paragraphs. You can force a line break in PowerPoint with Shift and Enter. And of course, double-check the punctuation. Putting these font tips into effect can help add a great amount of impact and style to your presentation.